Have you ever looked up at the sky and felt like you didn't belong here? Like this world with all its noise and distraction was no longer meant for you? Have you felt a calm detachment from everything most people chase, as if your soul already knows something is coming to an end? What if I told you this could be your last life on earth? Yes, in Buddhist wisdom, there are signs, deep, unmistakable signs, that you are nearing the end of your journey through samsara, the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. These signs aren't loud. They don't come with fireworks. They arrive silently, quietly, like the final notes of a beautiful song. And if you've experienced even a few of them, you might be walking your last path as a human being. This is Path of Buddhist Wisdom, and today we will uncover the 9 powerful signs that reveal you are living your final life, your ultimate chance to awaken, to be free, forever. Let's begin. In the teachings of the Buddha, life is not linear. We are not born once. We are born and born again through countless lives, in many forms, many bodies, many worlds. This is called samsara, the endless wheel of suffering. We are trapped in it by our attachments, our desires, our ignorance. But some souls, some rare luminous beings, begin to rise above. They see through the illusion. They let go. They begin to awaken. And as they do, the karmic threads that bind them start to unravel, until finally they reach their last life. In this life, everything changes. You're no longer interested in the things others chase. You begin to remember who you really are, and you feel a silent pull towards something beyond this world. If this is happening to you, stay with me. These are the 9 signs that you are living your final human incarnation. This is where the transformation often begins. In your past lives, you may have chased money, status, luxury. You may have desired power, recognition, and success. But now, none of that matters. You could lose everything, your job, your car, even your home, and still feel peaceful inside. Not because you've given up, but because you finally understand. These things were never truly yours. They're temporary. They come and go. They are part of the illusion. Instead, your soul is drawn to simplicity. You feel more joy in silence than in noise. You find more meaning in a cup of tea than in a fancy banquet. This is the first deep sign. Your spirit no longer clings to the material world. You're beginning to release the weight of karma. You're preparing for liberation. It's subtle at first. You stop craving what others desire: food, sex, fame, approval. You don't force it. You don't suppress it. It just fades, like mist disappearing in the morning sun. People around you may ask, why don't you want more from life? But you know, what they chase leads to suffering. You begin to realize that every desire, no matter how sweet, ends in emptiness. This isn't depression, this is freedom. You're no longer dancing to the tune of craving. Instead, you're listening to the stillness inside. You've begun to taste the peace of being untouched. And this inner shift is not accidental. It is a signal from the soul. You're nearing the end. From a young age, or maybe suddenly later in life, you feel drawn to the spiritual path. Books on Buddhism, meditation, past lives, energy. They find you. You feel connected to ancient teachings, even if you've never studied them before. You sit in silence and feel at home. You hear the sound of a bell or a mantra, and your eyes fill with tears. You feel as if you've done this before, not once, but many, many times. This sign is powerful. It means your soul has been preparing for lifetimes. It has walked many paths, and now it is coming home. You're no longer looking for religion, or you're seeking truth. You no longer seek heaven, you seek liberation. When someone hurts you, you no longer react with anger. Instead, you feel compassion. You understand that their pain causes their behavior. You see their suffering beneath their words. You may not tolerate injustice, but you no longer carry hatred. You feel empathy, even for strangers, for animals, even for those you once disliked. This is not softness. This is evolution. The walls that separate you from others are fading. You feel oneness. You cry more easily. You forgive more quickly. You love more deeply. And you don't need a reason to be kind. It's simply your nature and feel like you're watching actors on a stage. You feel separate, but not in a lonely way. You feel like a quiet observer. someone who has woken up in a room full of people still sleeping. This is Maya, the illusion of separation, of ego, of materialism, and you are starting to see beyond it. You're no longer fooled, you're no longer hypnotized, you see the world clearly, and you walk through it lightly. For most people, death is terrifying. It's the great unknown, the end of everything. But for you, it's no longer frightening. In fact, there's a quiet peace when you think about it. You know, not just intellectually, but deeply, that death is not the end. You feel it in your bones. Life continues, consciousness continues. You sense that death is not a punishment, but a doorway, a return, a release. You may find yourself feeling curious about death. You may even welcome it, not in a morbid way, but in a sacred way, because you know you are not the body, you are not the name, you are the light behind both, and death is simply the moment when the light returns to its source. This acceptance, this calm awareness of impermanence, is one of the clearest signs that your soul has reached its final cycle. Have you noticed that the right books, videos, teachers, or messages just seem to appear when you need them most? You think of a question, and suddenly you hear someone answering it. You feel lost, and out of nowhere, a teaching arrives that feels like it was made just for you. This is no coincidence. In your final life, the universe becomes your mirror. It brings you everything you need to grow, heal, and awaken. You no longer need to search frantically. The path unfolds naturally in front of you. You realize that life itself is your guru. Every conversation, every silence, every challenge becomes a part of your awakening, and you trust it. You listen. You follow the signs. This flow of wisdom, this effortless unfolding of the path, is a powerful signal that the cycle is nearing completion. You may have vivid dreams of places you've never been, languages you've never learned, people you feel like you've known forever. Sometimes you walk into a new city and it feels familiar, or you meet a stranger and feel an instant soul connection. These are not tricks of the mind, they're echoes of your soul. In your final life, the veil between lives becomes thinner. Memories leak through, lessons return. You begin to remember. Maybe not clearly, maybe not always, but you sense it. You've been here before, you've lived, you've loved, you've died, and now you're ready to let go of the wheel. These flashes of memory, these strange moments of knowing, are signs that your journey through time is almost complete. This is the final, most powerful sign. You no longer want a better job, a better car, a bigger house. You want freedom. You want truth. You want nirvana, the complete liberation from the cycle of birth and death. You're no longer interested in repeating the human experience. You don't hate life, but you don't cling to it either. You've tasted what this world has to offer, the joy and the pain, and now you are ready to transcend. You may feel a deep, unshakable urge to meditate, to reflect, to seek solitude. You may find yourself pulled inward, deeper and deeper toward the source of all things. This longing, this yearning for the beyond is the soul's final cry for freedom. It is the clearest sign that your time in samsara is coming to an end, and that you are awakening. It's not that you've become passive, it's that you're tired of the noise. You no longer want to argue to be right. You no longer feel the need to prove anything, whether it's politics, gossip, or pointless debates. It all feels like wasted energy. You begin to value peace over opinion, silence over shouting. You can still stand up for what's right, but you do it without anger. You correct others gently, or sometimes not at all. You pick your battles, and most of the time, you choose none. Why? Because your soul knows. Conflict only binds you to the world. It feeds the ego, and you're done feeding the ego. This quiet surrender, this deep inner calm, isn't weakness. It's a sign of spiritual strength. It's a sign that your journey is almost over. You used to feel overwhelmed. Sadness would flood you, anger would burn you. But now, you feel emotions like passing waves. You watch them come and go. You don't resist them. You don't act from them. You simply observe. It's like standing on the shore while the storm rages at sea. You're not drowning anymore. You're aware. This is the fruit of lifetimes of practice. Even if you don't remember practicing, You're living more from your awareness than your reactions. You no longer say, "I am angry." You say, "Anger is passing through me." This distance between you and the emotion is what allows you to remain free. This is the way of the awakened soul. This is the mind of someone nearing the final release from karma. Others need constant stimulation, parties, lights, noise, but you find beauty in a candle flame, in a bird's song, in the sound of your own breath. You sit alone and feel full. You walk in silence and feel complete. Even in moments of emptiness, when there's nothing happening, you feel peaceful. This is a radical transformation of perception. It doesn't come from one lifetime. It comes from many. It's the result of the soul turning inward and discovering that the treasure it was seeking was never out there. You no longer need life to entertain you. You've become aware that you are life, and that realization is priceless. You may feel like time is speeding up or slowing down. Sometimes, hours pass in meditation and feel like minutes. Other times, a single moment of stillness stretches into eternity. You may feel disconnected from the clock, the calendar, even your age. This isn't forgetfulness, it's spiritual attunement. You're beginning to live outside of time, in the present, in the eternal now. The past doesn't grip you. The future doesn't control you. You begin to rest in the awareness that is always here, watching, steady, silent. This altered relationship with time is another sign of a soul dissolving its karma. You're no longer pulled by the currents of time. You're starting to float above them. If you've seen these signs in your life, truly seen them, then somewhere deep within, you already know. This is your last turn on the wheel. You've danced through lifetimes. You've tasted joy and heartbreak and wonder. You've built empires and lost them. You've been the seeker and the lost. But now, there is nothing more to chase. Now, there is only one direction left. Inward. You're no longer pulled outward by the world. You are called inward, to silence, to presence, to the eternal. The signs don't shout. They whisper. And that whisper is the voice of your soul saying, "Let go. Be still. It is time. Time to release all that you carried. Time to forgive and be forgiven. Time to see through the illusion and awaken to what is real." Perhaps you wonder, what comes after this final cycle? The answer cannot be spoken, only known. But the ancient masters tell us this: when the final life ends, the soul does not rise. It dissolves. Not into darkness, but into light. Not into nothingness, but into everything. The drop returns to the ocean. The flame returns to the sun. The traveller lays down the burden and becomes the path itself. You become what you always were. Pure awareness. Infinite peace. Boundless love. You do not become a god. You become no one. And in that, you become all. This is not death. This is freedom. This is nirvana. If these words touch something in you, if you feel tears rise or silence grow inside, then know you're not alone. Many are awakening, quietly, gently, all over the world. You may feel different. You may feel distant, but you're never disconnected. You're part of a wave of souls returning home, not to a place, but to truth. So walk gently, live simply, love deeply, and above all, keep listening within. Every moment is an opportunity to choose the path of peace. Every breath is a doorway to stillness, and in that stillness, you will remember, you're not here to become someone. You are here to become free. If this message has spoken to you, let the path unfold. You don't need to rush. You don't need to force. Simply continue with awareness, with compassion, and with presence. And if this video touched your soul, please take a moment to like it, share it, or comment below.